Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are doing fine. Today we will have continuation of our lessons few days back, prefix and suffix. This class is for grade 5 to 8 intermediate writing. So we'll pick our lesson from grade 5, and that is the continuation of prefix and suffix. We did that few days back, so that's what we'll be doing today. I hope that you guys are doing okay, and I hope that you had a great day. Okay, so first you log in using the aplusstudent.com. After logging in, you click on your name here, then language art, and grade 5, prefix and suffix. So we have done 4 lessons from prefix and suffix. Today we will finish up the remaining 4 that we are yet to complete. Okay. Alright, so we will go with words with on, this, in, and non. Okay, so we'll start with this one. So, just a review for those who were not in the class the last time. A prefix can be added to the beginning of a word, okay, to create a new word. Okay, so usually prefixes are added to the beginning of a base word to create a new word. So the base word means that it's a word on its own already. It's a word, it makes sense. So hi, when you add your prefix, it's gonna become a different word, a new word altogether. Okay, so that's what prefix mean. Knowing the meaning of a prefix can help you determine the meaning of a word. So if you know the meaning of the prefix, you can know the meaning of the word. So the prefix on, this, in, and non usually mean not or the opposite. Okay, so if you have on, this, in, and non, all of these mean not or the opposite of something. Okay, so let's go through the test and the questions. But before the test, we will just go through some questions and some explanation here. So, which is a non chemical method for cleaning a floor? So take note that all these prefix mean not or the opposites, okay? So a non-chemical method for cleaning a floor. So the prefix non usually means not or the opposite of. This helps you determine that using a broom and dustpan is a non-chemical method for cleaning a floor. Okay, non-chemical means not containing chemicals. So since we've said that non means not or opposite of, it means that non-chemical means not containing chemicals. So the non-chemical method for cleaning would be using a broom and a dustpan. Okay. What might you do with a disobedient pet? So what might you do with a disobedient pet? These mean not or opposite of, okay? So the prefix this usually means not or the opposite of. This helps you determine that if you had a disobedient pet, you might try to train it better. So disobedient pets or disobedient means not obedient, breaking the rule. So if you have a disobedient pet, what will you do? You will try to train it better. Okay? Why might someone become inactive? So inactive, not or opposite of, okay? So why would someone become inactive? This helps you determine that someone might become inactive because she has broken a bone. So inactive means not active. So if someone is inactive, they are not active, okay? Because she has broken a bone. Hi, B-Funks. Okay, let's look at some more examples. When are you likely to have a disagreement with someone? Disagreements. this. So the prefix this usually means not or the opposite of course. This helps you determine that you are likely to have a disagreement with someone when you have different opinions. So if me and you have different opinions, we will have a disagreement. A disagreement is the opposite of an agreement. When you have different opinions, okay? Which is an impossibility. Which is an impossibility. Okay. The prefix usually means not or the opposite. This helps you determine that being in two places at once is an impossibility. An impossibility is something that is not a possibility, something that is not possible. So when it's not possible, it is an impossibility. Okay? All right, so when is a story nonsense? When is the story nonsense? The prefix non means not or the opposite. Okay, so this helps you determine that a story is nonsense when it could not possibly be true. So if it's not true, then it's nonsense. It doesn't make sense, right? Okay. So when it is not possibly true, then it is nonsense. Okay, let's move on to our test now. Let's move on to our test now. So send me your answers on the. Okay, so why might you feel disconnected from friends? Why might you feel disconnected from friends? Why might you feel disconnected from friends? Because you haven't heard from them in a while, because you haven't been spending a lot of time with them. So, sending your answers on the chat. Why would you feel disconnected from friends? So send in your answers, guys. Option one, because you haven't heard from them in a while. Okay, of course, yeah, because if you feel disconnected, it's because oh you guys haven't been talking or you haven't kept in contact for a while. So B is correct. A, sorry. What is an uncivilized person likely to do? What is an uncivilized person likely to do? Someone that is uncivilized. Say excuse or drink water. So say excuse or drink water. Drink water. So it's say excuse me. Someone that is uncivilized means that the person is not civilized, okay? Because a civilized person will say excuse me. But somebody that is not civilized, that is local, would just drink water. The person would not say excuse me. Okay? All right. Which is non-living? A plant, a mineral, which is non-living. Which is non-living? Okay, so which is non-living? A plant or a mineral? Okay, guys, send in your answers. I want you all to participate so that I know that you understand or you do not understand. So send your answers. Which is non-living? Option 2. Okay, good job. Yeah. When are you likely to have a disagreement with someone? When are you likely to have a disagreement with someone? When are you likely to have a disagreement with somebody? When are you likely to have a disagreement? Mm-hmm. So when? Mm-hmm. Yes, so this class is for both grade 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so all of you can be here. Okay, good job. Which country is more independent? Which country is more independent? One that controls itself or one that is controlled by another country? Which country is more independent? So, which country is more independent? So, which country is independent? One that controls itself or one that is controlled by another country? Send your answers. Okay, one that controls itself. So, when is a puzzle incomplete? When is a puzzle incomplete? When does a puzzle become incomplete? When is a puzzle incomplete? When it is missing a piece or when all its pieces are in place? When it is missing a piece or when all its pieces are in place? So when it's a puzzle incomplete. Okay? When it has a missing piece. Okay, good job. Good, good, good. All right, so that's it for the first lesson that we're doing today, which is the on, this, in, and none. So if you've not done this, complete this, okay? We'll move on to the next one. The next one is what's with full. What's with full? So this is the suffix. So far we've been doing prefix. This is the suffix now. Okay. The words with full. So what is the suffix? What is the suffix? So a suffix can be added in the end of a base word to create a new word. Okay, so it is usually added to the end of a base word and it creates a new word. The prefix is added in the beginning, but the suffix is added at the end. Knowing the meaning of a suffix can help you determine the meaning of a word. The suffix full means having, showing, or causing. So if you see the suffix full, it means having something, showing, or causing something. Okay? So let's look at some questions. Who is a less successful writer? Who is a less successful writer? Less successful. So the suffix full means having, showing, or causing. So this helps you determine that someone who gets any books published is less successful. Okay, so someone who cannot get any book published is a less successful writer. But if you can get book published, then you're successful. So success means having a lot of success. Okay, right? Which some okay, why might someone be boastful? Why might someone be boastful? So what will make someone be boastful? We already know that full means having, showing, or cutting. So this means you determine that someone might be boastful because he is proud. So a proud person is boastful. Someone who is boastful tends to boast or show pride. So it's showing something because he is proud. How does a dutiful student do his homework? A dutiful student will do his homework what? Thoroughly. So if you're dutiful, you do your homework thoroughly, okay? You show a sense of duty. You know your duty and you do it. That is what a dutiful student will do. Who is less skillful? Who is less skillful? Who is a less skillful person? A less skillful person, okay, but we already know that full means having, showing, or cussing. So this helps you determine that an amateur athlete is less skillful than a professional athlete. So skillful means showing skills. So maybe someone who is less skillful would be amateur, someone that is not really professional. Who is heedful of danger? Who is heedful of danger? So it helps you determine that someone who is cautious is heedful of danger. So if you are cautious, you're heedful of danger because heedful means showing heed, paying attention. So if you're heedful, you pay attention, so you're cautious. Someone who's very cautious. If you had an eventful day, how might you describe it? It means that you would describe it as an exciting day. Okay. So if your day is eventful, means that you had lots of events, it was interesting, it was exciting. So that's what an eventful day mean. All right, moving on to the test. Send your answers on the chat. How does a dutiful student do his homework? We just got this through the tutorials thoroughly. Okay. If you had an eventful day, how might you describe it? Exciting. We just saw in the tutorial also. Okay. Why might someone be boastful? Why might someone be boastful? What's your answer, guys, here? Why might someone be boastful? Why might someone be boastful? Why might someone be boastful? Send your answers, guys, on the charts so that we can interact. Why might someone be boastful? Mm-hmm. Send your answers, everybody. So, because he's proud, someone who is boastful would be because he is proud. A proud person would be boastful. Which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision? Which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision? A more thoughtful way. If you're making a thoughtful decision, you're what? Making a random choice or writing out the pros and cons. So, if you are thoughtful, you write out the pros and cons, meaning that you write the good and bad so that whatever decision you make, you know what will happen at the end. Whose performance is more likely to be described as artful? Whose performance is more likely to be described as artful? A professional violinist or an amateur violinist? So it will be what? Professional. Because it will be described as artful because he's very good or she's very good. Okay, so who is less skillful, a professional athlete or an amateur? Of course, an amateur, because if someone is less skillful, he is an amateur. An amateur is less skillful. So yeah, and then this one, when is it more important to be truthful? When is it very important to be truthful? When you're writing a short story or when you are under oath in a courtroom? So, when is it important to be truthful? So, it will be when you are under oath in a courtroom. So, you should be truthful in such situations. All right, so that's it for this one. Make sure that you complete this if you haven't done it yet. We will move on to the words with less. So we already know that suffix is added to the end of a base word to create a new word. Knowing the meaning of a suffix will help you determine the meaning of a word. So the suffix less means without. So wherever you see less, you know that it's talking about without. Okay? So what is a fearless person like? What is a fearless person? A fearless person is the person who is brave. If you're fearless, you have no fear. You're without fear. So you're brave. That's what a fearless person is. Okay? Then, which is less likely to be described as tasteless? Which is less likely to be described as tasteless? So, an orange juice is less likely to be described as tasteless because an orange juice is tasty, it's sweet. But tasteless means something without taste. So, maybe what drinks do we have that are tasteless? So, if you can think of any drink that is tasteless, yeah, that's it. Which of these is painless? Okay, so breaking an eggshell is painless. Painless means without causing any pain. Okay, so if something is painless, it's not causing pain. Okay, but if something is painful, then it causes pain. So painless is without pain. What would a humorless person be likely to appreciate? So, a person who is without humor, who has no good sense of humor, would appreciate a good joke. Yes. So, if they have no humor, they will appreciate someone with a humor, a good sense of humor to entertain them. So, what is weightless? What is weightless? So, weightless is something without weight or seeming to have no weight. So, light is weightless. So, okay, let's move on to the test now. Okay, so when might you feel helpless? When might you feel helpless? When you have no power to change things or when you have the power to change things. So a person will feel helpless when they have no power to change things. Maybe there's a situation, but there's nothing you can do about it. So you feel helpless when you cannot do anything. So why might a basketball team feel hopeless? Because they are losing badly or because the game is tied? So if they feel hopeless, it's because they are losing already. Okay? So the basketball team is losing, that's when they feel like, oh, there's no hope anymore. Okay, good. Which is less likely to be described as tasteless? Less likely, orange juice is not tasteless. It's like water. Water has no taste. But orange juice is tasteful, okay? It's not tasteless. Which would be worthless in a store? Play money or actual money? Worthless in a store would be play money because if you have actual money, it is not worthless, it's useful. How would you feel after a sleepless night? Sleepless night, that's without sleep. How will you feel? Exhausted or well rested? Of course, you feel exhausted, you feel tired because you didn't have a good sleep. So, sleepless nights, you will feel exhausted. What is weightless? A light bulb or light? So, lights has no weight, but a light bulb will have weight a little bit, but the light has no weight. Which is meaningless? A sentence, a random string of words. So a sentence is meaningful, but a random string of words, just random words, that's meaningless. Whom might you describe as penniless? Someone who is trying to expand her business or someone who has no way of paying off her debts. So someone who is penniless has no way of paying debts. Let's say that she has lots of debts and she cannot pay. So that's penniless. Okay. So that's it for the words with less. You can complete this, of course, if you haven't done that yet. Let's move on to words with able and able. Okay, so words with able and able. Okay, so we know what suffixes are. Now, knowing the meaning of a suffix will help you get the meaning of the word. Of course, we know that. Now, the suffix able and able mean able to be, okay? Able to be, able to do something. So that's what able. If you're able, that means you can do something, okay? So when you're able to do something, that is what able means. So which is replaceable? Which is replaceable? Now, this means that something that you can get again, that you can replace, okay? Maybe if you lose a bicycle, a phone, it's replaceable because you can get another phone. Okay, so it helps you determine that this is something that is more likely to be replaceable. So something common can be replaceable. Something very random can be replaceable. Which illness is curable? Which illness is curable? So this helps you determine that an illness can go away after being treated. Okay, so if it's curable, that means if you take some medicines, it will go away and you'll feel better. Okay, which activity is less likely to be described as pleasurable? Less likely to be described. So now this helps you determine that washing the dishes after dinner is less likely to be pleasurable than eating a delicious meal. So eating a delicious meal is pleasurable, of course. But after that, you have to wash the dishes. It's not really pleasurable. Okay? So when you have something that is pleasurable, it's something that gives you pleasure, something that you do that makes you happy. So which item is not a collectible? Which item is not a collectible? This helps you determine that an ordinary spiral notebook is not a collectible item. Collectible is something that can be collected and has value other collectors, okay? An ordinary spiral notebook is not collectible because it's not really valuable. Which business is profitable? So a profitable business is one that make money than it is spent. Okay, so you can make money from that business. You know that your business is profitable because you make profits. Which is preventable? If you prevent something, it's something that you can stop from happening. So like a sunburn, you can prevent a sunburn by putting on sunscreen. So that prevents you from sunburn. So preventable is something you can prevent. Okay, all right, let's move on to the test. You can send your answers on the charts. Sliceable. Which is sliceable? What are your answers? Send your answers. Which is sliceable? Okay, a loaf of bread is sliceable. Of course, you can slice the bread. Which is more achievable? Which is a more achievable goal? Yes, one, good. Which is a more achievable goal? running a mile in under 4 minutes or running a mile in under 7 minutes. So which is more achievable? Is it running a mile in 4 or in 7 minutes? Which is more achievable? Two. Okay. Okay, good. Why might you use erasable ink? Why might you use an erasable ink? So that you can make changes, or so that your words can be altered. So why will you use erasable ink? Why will you use erasable ink? So that you can make changes, okay? If you use something that's erasable, you know that you can make changes. Which is preventable, a sunburn or thunderstorm? We cannot prevent thunderstorm, but we can prevent a sunburn by putting on sunscreen, right? So, which is replaceable, something common or something rare? Something rare you cannot replace, but something common, okay. So it's just like replacing a chocolate for your siblings, you know? Okay. Which is more arguable? Whether it's more fun to go to the beach or the mountains, whether Antarctica is warmer than the Amazon rainforest. So which is arguable? Which one can you argue about? Is it the beach or the mountains? Okay, one. All right, let's see. Okay. Which is usually adjustable, a t-shirt or a belt? A belt is adjustable. You can adjust the belt. So we say a belt. Which is profitable, one that makes money than it's spent, or one that is filing for bankruptcy? So it has to be the one that makes more money. Makes more money than we spend. Okay, so that's it for this. If you haven't done this, make sure that you complete this, okay? Complete this if you haven't done this yet. And after this, you will have your final test, and then you do the final test, okay? So on the chat, let me know, do you have any questions? Ask me your questions. Do you have any question? Do you have any questions on the chat box? Let me know if you have any questions. Do you have any question? Not really. Okay. So we'll end here for today. See you guys next time. Next week, Nandin will be back. So see you when we see again. Do have a great weekend, guys, and take care of yourself. Bye.